What up, peeps? It's your girl, Come Back Mo Takes. Well, it's that time, I guess, it's reaction time, and this is to Disney's Echo. This will be for episode 4, titled, I want to say, Taloa. Hope I'm saying that correctly. The last episode, definitely a lot going on. I looked forward to just seeing a little bit more of Maya trying to showcase, her overall, narrow potential of what she thinks she can do in regards to getting up the upper hand with, Fix and his men. Hence, when she, of course, blew up that D9X, and then, all his artillery and things that he's probably using that you saw from Henry's, text to her and all that, they, hit me and I hit back and her putting people in harm's way. Henry said it. You see what happens on the last episode where, she, of course, having another vision, but in the instance of that gets grabbed and then, put and locked up inside of Henry's, place of business, all the while her and then eventually Bonnie gets kind of mixed up into this whole thing. Of course, Henry trying to, give her, some signs, from sign language and all that. Hence, somebody was watching. One of the ladies who is helping Vicky, who worked for Henry, who called, Fist, people to give them a heads up so they can get down here. Now, mind you, Zane don't particularly care. You can see him when Vicky eventually is like, where's the money? He's like, no, we need to make sure what you're saying is on the up and up. Hence, meaning you all just want the information. You're not going to give him nothing, whatever. He's lowball, so they don't really care. But needless to say, Henry said it. He was just like, they don't care about you. Once they get what they need from you, they're going to kill you. And a lot of them are not. They're replaceable. Some of them are very replaceable. Zayn not so much and all that closely to Fist, but the rest of them other brothers, they could go. I will say this, I felt bad for Bonnie being with, Maya in the back and not really being able to talk to her because the moment they're being tied up, being, held as hostages and all that until the guys show up so they can figure out how they're gonna deal with her. Mind you, they wanted to deal with her altogether and be done, but we have a show to continue on. We like how that phone call came. On the side, Henry said he's alive. We knew daggone well. Even, I already said it. I said, please. Like, that's going to take him out. Now, in real life, if she finished it and continued as opposed to just the eye, then it'd be a different story. But this is, as we say, make believe. So seeing her, not realizing, I shot him there, like, and really thinking that's all it took. You don't know what you're dealing with. And then seeing how they eventually got out of the situation because Zane's like, let's go. Because he's like, no. He probably told him, he said, don't you dare. I'll handle it. Go ahead and go. Not realizing that all the while he's there. Like once she says, and Henry says, he'll help her, and then tells Bonnie, I need you to stay safe, this and that, and other all, knowing that you brought this trouble to your, family's doorstep. Now when you go back to your, family home, you see who's waiting for you. See, look on his face. I said, look at the face because I can only imagine what he's going to say to her. I am scared for her. I am scared for her family. So with that said, so let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll say the rest of my thoughts after you guys.
Hi. What are you having? Huh? No, we're out of those.
Uh-oh.
Wait here, Maya. Uncle has something he needs to do. Don't be afraid. Yes. Well, we'll still have our Sunday evening dinners. You and I. We are the only ones we can trust. You're dismissed.
What? Are you serious? What did he?
Can we please talk?
Oh.
Dad. guess you made that very clear in New York. I thought that we could have a Sunday family dinner. It hurts that you were so ready to believe the worst. You raised a hand to me in violence. I have a proposition. You want an empire. You can have everything. All you have to do is come home with me.
Yeah, I don't think so, sweetie.
Please tell me you're not that stupid. You know why I'm 45 and alone? One I cared about was taken away by him. I tried to get out. Fisk threatened to kill me if I did. Don't want you to become me. I was confused. Scared.
Oh my.
There's something going on. Chola can help you.
Yeah, you need help, girl. Come on.
Go on now.
On the night I gave birth to your mother. Your mother? We were both in danger. It's in God's hands, they said.
Oh, wow.
I could hardly say they were always with me. They had an ability to know when they were truly needed.
Oh,
Said about lifting the pain of others. She had a gift. She was a healer. Your mother was killed. Burns. Shattered. No, not you. Your mom.
oh, I know. I know she did too.
Yourself.
How'd that go?
People you killed for me. Did you plead for their lives?
Mm-hmm.
I ask you, who's the monster? I was there for you!
Oh, uh-oh.
It's something that I want to pass on to you. When he beat my mother, until I got strong enough to stop him with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, girl.
Here, free yourself. Go ahead. Free me! In the morning, come home.
All right, you guys. I enjoyed this episode. I like how we finally get to see this confrontation meeting, if you will, between Chula and Maya. Because it was long overdue. I'd already made a comment previously in a couple of the previous episodes that just the grandmother pretty much, in some ways kind of avoided. Once she knew she was here, you didn't go out of your way to go see her and all that. She's just, talking to Henry like, oh, she's probably doing, and I hope it is true. So she's just passing through. You're just like, what's going on with you? Even, granddad was like, instead of you, want to understand this, why don't you just listen? And in this moment, I will say this, being it coming from the beginning, being that we of course finally see the conversation happening between Fisk and Maya and addressing, you can see just the anger built up in her because I will say this during some of those moments. I mean, you got the information about your father, him, the boss, which is him, your uncle, and not once was it even brought up in this moment. And that's the part I'm just not understanding. It's like he's talking about everything else, but the one thing, yeah, he talked about how his father died and all that. Yeah, I understand that. But I said, yeah, you didn't ask him in that moment when he was trying to hand you a hammer. I'm like, what happened to my dad? Like, you were supposed to present this person all that. I wouldn't have any other way, but still, you be serving yourself on the platter. I'm like, so the whole point of him wanting her to come back to New York and understand what she did. I will say this with the technology used because I was wanting to know how he was going to talk to her and have these guys. I thought he was really going to take her, and like really go off on her and all that, but holding back, prior, of course, the shock of the fact that she did it, but you taught her very well. And being that she was a young little girl in the early 2000s, all the way up until now, can't run too much game on her. She knows a lot of stuff. I feel bad for the woman who was doing the sign language phone and all that because she's just doing her job. It's not like she already knows who she's dealing with. She wouldn't dare open her mouth. But you see, he was like, I'm not going to take that chance. Let's go ahead and just dispose of you. They had the stuff already up. So she walked around, the plastics there, plat, 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 and just rolled her right on up and just wow. I just still can't believe that scene because I'm like, wow. So besides that, seeing also the scene with Henry, explaining why he is single and understanding, he wanted to get out after, of course, what happened with her dad, and they're like, if you leave, we'll kill you. It's interesting how other little young ones can be, of course, disposable, meaning they probably don't want to be bothered whether they get killed, in a crossfire or whatever they have been tasked to do, for what Fisk's biddings for, his business. But other people who just want to not be a part of it, they'll kill. But then also the fact is that they'll kill you, but then also things. Certain things about, how they go about doing their dealings, certain things in regards to what they have, with, business, just all that. So, I know it's not as easy as he would have liked it to be, but knowing that he didn't want to ever, get with somebody and care about it, and that's sad. That part just really hurt, just hear him say that. And then she's like, you didn't check on me, you didn't come, was lonely with her, especially after she lost her. And it's like, and it's true. Where were you? I will give it to Bonnie. She wanted to be there. She's like, I'm here and all that. And I feel bad because out of all the people we saw in this episode, she is yet to speak to her. She's still waiting to talk to her. She promised her. So it's almost like, I hope we do get to see Bonnie have that moment with her that she's, wants to. But the part with Henry and all that, him feeling scared and all that, and I understand it. That's why she couldn't say anything else after he said it because she truly understands. You look who you dealing with. Look at your uncle, how he does his business, sweetie. You go out here, cold-blooded, kill people doing certain things he asked you to do and all that, and getting some of the weightlifter of what happened to your dad and all that. So, truly, but that part with grandmother explaining and understanding what the overall title of this actual episode, I will say this thing about the first episode. I don't recall if they did say the mother's name, probably did, and I wasn't paying attention. So knowing and understanding, the title and then seeing the grandmother go into conversations with her when Henry brought her there, like, yeah, go in there. You need to talk to her. You both need to air out. But I'm glad it's out. And I don't blame the grandmother for feeling what she is. She did lose her daughter, experiencing what she's going through, seeing those visions, and her seeing the visions too, having that kind of a bond because of her, giving birth to her daughter, and her daughter, of course, having Maya, instant connection right there. So you just can't just, walk away from that. You all are bonded. But her explaining, why they left the hospital and seeing, what was happening from the first episode, with Choctaw, and then seeing what's happening in the woods with the overall, with the lighting coming out. It's almost like they were kind of being, kind of, it's a phrase I want to use. I might even put it up with and all that. It kind of interlocked around this, that lighting all the as a protection. That's the word I'm trying to find, protecting them. And then, like they said, at certain moments, they present themselves like, in regards to that. So that was very interesting when Scully said it when she had her conversation with him on the last episode. So seeing that moment, talking about her being like a healer and things of that nature, I'm just like, oh my goodness, like this, thing, that happens with their hands and all that definitely passed, like she said, through the generations, the ancestors and all that. But you can see after all that, she said, she's like, I was angry. She's like, you didn't want nothing to do with it. She was very, and I understand it because of what happened to your daughter, but that does not excuse you to treat your grandchild like that. I mean, seeing her was just too much for you. Then as time goes and all the years came in, you couldn't work through that to try to present yourself. And she said her father used to tell me, ruin the family, but it was like, you can only say that so much because in the end, you're dealing with a business where they're ruthless. They killed him. And you put your family on. It's like, yeah, you took care of it, but the fact remains, even though you took care of that person, you have lost the love of your life. Your daughter lost her mother, so you can only be so mad at the grandmother talking about she ruined it. No, playing off each other with the who's to blame game. Just like, oh my God, like enough, enough. So I was just happy that they both aired out their stuff. It's out there, and then he realizing, there we go. It's like, yeah, I don't, it's exhausting. Just, you know, all that to be said, but he giving her ultimate, meet me, I hope I see you. And she is thinking everything through and she leaves, but I don't know if she's just leaving to go back to New York or she's doing her own pretense because she doesn't want just to get away from the family. But it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Is he going to, not leave now and try to cause some harm to them to get back at her for not going? Because you see the look on his, that rage. That's why I'm like this. As much as he can be, he knows how to contain his emotions. And at the right moment, if certain things are going on, it just comes out. It's just like a bolt of lightning. Because as soon as he was sitting there calm, and something just took over, and I'm just like, you gonna mess up the jet? Like, that's your money, but okay, do what you will. But I know one thing, he hot with her. So I'm just gonna clearly see what's gonna be on this. I think we have one more episode. I just, yeah, if I were, I wouldn't be leaving. If you're leaving him and you don't show up, and then you're just leaving like you think please. There are people there. Clearly, you see the guy who's working with Henry. He was already inside watching, pretty much watching over him. Henry had no clue. So, who else is there to go open out the area? And then they say no, but they were tailing her. So I'm definitely looking forward to the last and the final episode, from this first season. So far, like I said, I'm enjoying this. I love all the characters, the dynamic, and definitely the backstory with the family. Love it. And I have to just give a full shout out to want to say Tantu Cardinal, who's playing the grandmother Chula. She's just an amazing actress. I've been a fan of her work for a couple of decades. So her in those moments, going back and just her getting all emotional and oh my goodness, it was so good. That whole scene between her and Maya was so, so good. It needed to happen. So with that said, you guys comment below. Let me know what you think. And with that said, I'll see you guys next reaction. You guys take care.